Hey everybody, and welcome to Binder Minder. It's that time again. Man, I got stains on here. It's that time again, and yeah, I've been hanging on to a big stack. Well, not a big stack, but I've been hanging on to a stack of cards that have been coming in when I order for decks. Both my wife and I are building a couple decks and upgrading a couple decks, and we've got some collection stuff going on too. So, as always, we hang on to everything. Sit down here and do a little bit of binder therapy, hang out, and we dive into what's come in, talk a little bit about them, and yeah, and we get to put everything in the binder after we get it all scanned in and ready to go. So before we dive in too much, though, I did pick up a couple things that are not cards this week, and I'll tell you, I've been fighting myself to not order more binders. So Vault X has their whole color varieties, all the back in stock, and I love them. Orange is my favorite color. Orange is in stock. They got a few of them that I'm really digging. But the thing is I just bought a new binder, and I really don't need a new binder. Frankly, I shouldn't need as many binders as I do, but I can't stop buying stuff. So, anyhow, I did, however, him and haul and decide to finally pick something up. If you guys have been around on the channel for a while, you'll probably see me pick up cards for an upgrade. So I built a deck originally. You guys have seen me build a Tempest Hawk deck. And then I played it a couple times and decided that I wanted to change it around a little bit. And I changed it to be more, Tempest Hawk still, but Chocobo themed a little bit as well. Just kind of sprinkled in a little bit of Final Fantasy Chocobos. And yeah, I'll just show you. I may have splurged on a new playmat. I don't need it. I've got so many playmats at this point. You guys have probably seen me. I think you guys have seen me maybe buy 3 or 4 playmats, just not counting what I had before that. So yeah, it's been a little much. But these came back in stock, and I was pretty excited to check it out. And I've never had one of the hollow foil ones, which is kind of neat. It does make these things a little bit harder to see. Like, they're not as vibrant as I guess they would be. The hollow foil is pretty cool, though. It's like got a little bit of a sprinkling on there. Kind of neat. So, yeah, pick this thing up. We'll just go ahead and use it for the rest of the video here. Anyhow, in addition to that, to get up to free shipping levels, I did need to bump things up a little bit more. Started poking around, and I saw that they introduced new Bob Ross artwork. They had Apex sleeves. They had a playmat, which if I wasn't buying this, I probably would have been all about it, because this is a pretty cool looking one. So we've got, the one you guys have seen with the pink background, the mountain, and then there's a forest one, which we have for the sleeves for. We have both of those sleeves. And now I've got these sleeves as well. So another set of sleeves. If you never use Apex sleeves, they're pretty good. So anyhow, I was pretty excited to see those. I hope everybody's doing well. For some context, as far as when I'm recording this, I know that you guys aren't going to see this probably for a month. But today was the first official day of MagicCon Atlanta, and they announced a lot of stuff. So I guess while we dive into this stuff, I might talk a little bit about some of those announcements, because frankly, it's overwhelming. So, like I said, not a big stack of cards, but a stack of cards. So we'll dive into this. So they announced all of the sets for next year. Well, all the sets except for one. So we know about Lorwyn, we know about Strixhaven, and we also know that there's going to be a new Planar Chase set at close to the end of the year as well. Those are the 3 in-universe sets. I'm not one of those people that freak out and don't like the Universes Beyond stuff. In fact, if anything, I'm probably one of the bigger fans of most of it, right? But next year we're going to get 4 Universes Beyond sets and 3 in-universe sets, which seems a little weird. I know part of that is because one of them got pushed, and they said the next year after that we'll be back to 6 sets a year, with it being 3 and 3. it's a lot of Universes Beyond. I like the Universes Beyond stuff, but I like it being sprinkled in here and there, not necessarily being the full set. Sometimes I think it's a little overwhelming. The Spider-Man set is a great example of that. We haven't bought any Spider-Man yet, and if you haven't seen us open anything yet, probably. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to get some, but I didn't really want to spend the money on the collector boosters. Anyhow, so our first thing here, I did pick up an Endstone in Japanese. Not necessary or anything like that. In fact, it kind of looks faded. It's not all that exciting looking. I don't know if that's just our version, but yeah, with the Edge of Eternities, I happened to end up with a few of the showcase treatments like this, and when they're cheap and they're you can get them cheap in the Japanese language, I pick them up sometimes. And then I picked up Thrumming Hive Pool. Also, I've got the Sliver Precon. I've also got a couple Shapeshifter decks, which this right here might be dropping into one of my Shapeshifter decks. I think it'd be pretty cool. Nice addition to it. We'll see. I didn't have one. I didn't pull one. Not even a regular version of it. And I saw this thing. I think I saw this. Well, I got this extended art one for $2, which isn't too bad. I almost ordered 2 more earlier today because I saw them for $1 each, which was a really good deal. One of them was foil, but I got the two Dracula cards we needed to complete the Dracula set. So those came in. So as far as the Universes Beyond stuff they announced, and by the time you guys seen this, will already know. But the rumor is it's going to be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which I'm a big Ninja Turtles fan, especially the 80s stuff. I'm a little concerned it's going to be like the Spider-Man set where it's a little too much. I think that some things would be better for to be like this, where it's a Dracula, where we get a set and then there's just like a bonus sheet or something like that. Sometimes things are a little bit better for Secret Lairs. Maybe we see some sort of Universes Beyond pack or Secret Lair type pack where we get a variety of these different Universes Beyond kind of things, and you open your packs and get the chance of getting them instead of having 3 sets, 4 sets this year. Some of them, like I said, are going to be good. I think Marvel this time will be pretty good. And they announced Star Trek as well. So Star Trek's going to be awesome, I think. I don't know. Star Trek, so it's funny, when I go back all the way to when I started playing Magic, all the way to when I started playing in Revised. And I stopped playing Magic at the time to start playing Star Trek, the card game, the trading card game. And I loved it. I actually preferred that over Magic then. So I should be pretty excited at the idea of a Star Trek set, and I will be as we get closer to it, I'm sure. I just, even though we got the Edge of Eternity stuff, which I think is going to go really well with it, I don't know. I'm a little concerned that it's going to be, a little weird. But I think we're past weird, I guess. And I'm not even the person that normally complains about this. I feel like, if anything, I'm the target audience. I buy tons and tons of Secret Lairs, love all the extra stuff. I collect the Universes Beyond bonus sheets and stuff like that. But even I am feeling a little bit shocked or overwhelmed by it. It doesn't help that we're getting 7 sets next year. It's a lot. And then on top of that, they announced an unbelievable number of Secret Lairs. So we have a really big Secret Lair coming up. That's the spooky, scary one, which has got a whole mix of things, including The Office and 3 Furbies. I don't know. It was a really, really big Secret Lair. It's one of those things where I saw it and I'm like, man, there's some really cool stuff in here. I love the Furbies, for example. But man, it's if you want all the stuff or if you want a lot of it like I do usually, it's a lot. The Secret Lairs are, they hurt. And then 2 weeks after that, they announced that they're doing a PlayStation Super Drop with 7 different games. With Secret Lairs for 7 different games. So thankfully, from just initially looking at those, I'm probably not going to be super interested in those. Maybe there's 1 or 2, I'm not sure. I don't know if my wife's going to be interested in them, but my wallet's probably going to need a break. And frankly, my wallet needs a big break leading up into Lorwyn, which pre-orders are starting to pop up already. Lorwyn is looking to be amazing. We knew it. We talked about it before. That's the one we've been the most excited for. I think it's the only one that my wife is excited for next year, even. But yeah, Lorwyn's going to be crazy, and I just hope that we can get decent prices. You know, I mean, it looks good, and every time things look good, people just go crazy and they raise things up. It's just been killing my enthusiasm for the game. You know, if you go back and watch these videos, you'll actually see me slowly drop down in my enthusiasm. It's not even because I don't love the game. It's just I don't love, the stuff that I want being out of my price range. Anyhow, Starwinder from Edge of Eternities. This is not actually so. I was collecting I can't even think what it's called now. One of the borderless sets. This is the other version of it, but I just like this one too with the whale looking thing on there. Breeding pool. This is going to be an upgrade card for my Ooze deck, my Slime Against Humanity deck. I am switching it around to be Ghostbusters. Like I've always called it Ghostbusters, but I did that before we had a Ghostbusters Secret Lair. Now I'm integrating the Secret Lair, and part of doing that is a list of upgrades. Some of them are upgrades for the deck for this color change, like this one right here. I'm adding blue, so I need some good blue lands, right? But some of them were just upgrades that I wanted to do from the beginning. There's a couple cards, and I'll give you an example of it. Branching Evolution. It was one of the ones I was eyeing for quite a while before all this. March of the World Ooze, I planned on putting that in there once they announced it. So that's not a big one. And Verdict Catacombs, the fetch land. I that was one of those that I was planning on upgrading the deck eventually with anyhow. And so it's just, this is an upgrade where I'm putting like Parallel Lives in. I'm doing a bunch of sprinkling some upgrades that I had wanted to do for a long time in there. Some other stuff that had been announced or has come out with sets like Convert to Slime that came out with like Modern Horizon. I built the deck before all that. And Putrefy, there's a cool looking Putrefy that looks like it, kind of fits the Ooze and like that theme. Because all the artwork and everything on these cards matches that as well. So like it's not always about it being super strong. Sometimes it's about it just matching the theme, and that's definitely a theme deck, even though it's pretty strong. So yeah, some of those cards that things that have come out, Virtual Lands and stuff like that, are also going into there. So you'll see a few of those cards coming in. I think as of right now, not counting what I have here or in the mail, I think I've got like 3 or 4 cards left to order to finish it. I got to get a Sink of the Stupor because I put that in every deck that's got blue. Yavimaya, Cradle of Growth, and that Verdict Catacombs that I mentioned. Those are the 3 that I'm seeing off my list here. And of course, none of those are cheap. Catacombs, I mean, they're not expensive, but they're not as cheap as some of the other cards here. Anyhow, Heat Focused, Edge of Eternities. We got some of the bonus cards. So I got a Shameless Event. This is one of the poster cards. I get a Mirror Pool, also one of the poster cards. I've still got like $500 worth of cards from this the Stellar Sights bonus sheet. Man, can't believe I forgot that. But I've been trying to make sure I at least picked up as many of these poster versions of these as possible, because I do think the poster versions are going to go up in price. It's just a matter of time. These are only available in collector boosters, so hang on, get them while we can. This one's a funny one. When I put this order in, I put in Grove of the Billiburns. I put it in there twice. I caught it later on, even before it came in, and I saw that I'd order it twice. I keep managing to mess things up like that. I don't know. Anyhow, Bride of the Clouds. It's a cat card from my wife's cat deck, or cat collection, sorry. Lead-in Mirror. This is a card that's going in my, what I call Bird Fight. I've got a deck it's a $20 or less deck, and it's going to be kind of chaotic kind of deck. But the idea is I wanted a deck where I can It won't have sleeves or anything like that. I'll probably get a good rubber band to rubber band it all together, and I can just throw it down on the table. Rifle shuffle them or whatever I want. Freak people out by it being cheap. Call to the Grave. This is gonna be for my wife's zombie deck, and then Undo Inversion. This is an MDFC flip card. I always love these. This is going to be for my Tempest, not Tempest Hawk, my Templar Knight deck, which we're almost done with. In fact, let me peek here. I think I've got 2 cards left that I need to order. Yeah. In fact, I think I've only got, so there's probably going to be 2 cards in here for it. And then those 2 cards I still haven't ordered are the only 2 left. So probably just going to have to, make a trip to the game store and pick up those last 2 cards, get it all finished up. Anyhow, on with it. Save these for last. You guys just ignore what you saw there. May or may not have been something cool. All right, another cat card. This is the other card for the Templar Knight deck. Valdalian Wave Knight. Whenever you draw a card, put a +1/+1 counter on each other merfolk or knight you control. Of course, that's going to go in my knight deck. And these lands right here are also for it too. I've actually got the lands I need, except for I really wanted to do this artwork. I still need 2 more of these. All right, Alloy Mirror. That's going to be for that fight deck. Primal Amulet. This is actually for my slime deck, my Ghostbusters deck. Instant sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast, and whenever you cast an instant sorcery, put a charge counter on this. Then if there are 4 more counters on it, you may remove these counters and transform it. When you flip it over, it becomes a land. You can add 1 color to your mana pool, and then that mana is spent to cast an instant sorcery. Copy that spell. So if I play with slime, which I'm going to play a whole bunch of, suddenly I get to do 2 slimes. It's pretty huge. So that'll be for that. And this is also for that deck. Simic Growth Chamber, nothing too crazy. It's just, bounce land, gives us 2, gives us some color options, and keeps things kind of cheap. And I thought the main reason this comes in here is because I do think that this artwork kind of reminds me of it being like a slimy, oozy kind of place. Like down here, there's a big puddle of ooze. Stuff like that. Like I said, not always the best cards, but sometimes you want to go with what fits the theme. All right, Prowling Sir Popard. It's a cat snake. I don't think I've ever seen a cat snake before. That's kind of cool, actually. For the cat collection, of course, Alms Collector. She's actually got this in her cat collection already, but she's got the secret lair. So she wanted the regular one, so I picked her up. And then Zagoth Triumph. This is obviously going to be for the slime deck, since we're going black, green, and blue. This next pile, let's see what we got here. Glittering Link, so another cat card, another cat card, another cat card, and then Rejuvenating Spring. Same idea. These, like I said, any deck should have these. These are the Battle Bonds lands. If it comes in tapped, unless you have 2 or more opponents, so it's going to come in untapped most of the time. And again, I thought this is, of all the artwork for these, this one's probably the one that fits the oozy theme. Even though it's just trees and stuff, it just kind of felt like it, not really oozy, but kind of the same idea. Matches that, if nothing else. So, all right. Last thing I've got sitting here before we dive into things is an Ancestral Recall. Not what you'd expect me to open. Not what you expect me to be just tossing around, right? That's because it is a proxy. So you guys have seen a couple times now, my buddy Charlie has sent a couple things in here and there. He picked these up, proxies. So you see that there's no normal back to them. He picked up a set of Power 9 to make a display of them to hang up on his wall. And it didn't cost him a whole lot more to go ahead and order an extra set. And so he sent me a set. Because, yeah, I mean, who's ever going to turn down Power 9, man? If you've never seen them, that is the Power 9. This is the stuff that if these were real cards that I would be shaking and freaking out about. It's pretty cool. These proxies are a little weird. They don't really have the same thickness or springiness, I guess, as a regular card. And like when they stamped them out, it kind of there's more of a ledge or an edge on the back here where it's like rounded on the front. They didn't do a very good job cutting them out, but they look great. And when you're putting them in a picture frame or something like that, that's all you need. And he picked up a display with like a whole bunch of those magnetic cases and everything. I'm a little bit more on a budget, so I picked up one of these dudes. Actually, I picked up two. This one came in cracked. So I do have the other one, but not glass, just acrylic. So I got to pull the plastic off there. But these should look pretty good in here. They should fit. Should look pretty good, all things considering. And not quite as fancy as Charlie's setup, but we still get a nice little magic thing. So I'll have to get that put together at some point, and I got to find a spot to put it. Anyhow, before I waste your time anymore, since we're 22 minutes into my recording, you'll probably have a few minutes of that cut out. I'm going to go ahead and get everything scanned in. Not these things, though. And, yeah, get everything scanned in, and I've got the binders and everything here, and we'll put everything in the binders. So I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, I'm back. Got everything scanned in. Got a few cards to put into my wife's cat card collection here. We'll go ahead and start off with Alms Collector. That's going to be the first one. Should be pretty obvious, right? It's going to be up here with this other one. I'm pretty sure she wants me to pull this one. I do love this. I mean, I've got the same. This is actually one of my first playmats. I love that artwork. So we'll swap that out, and then next up we have what? Let's see. He's going to go there. That's going to go there. So we got Glittering Links is going to be the next one. So let's flip through. Glittering Lion and Glittering Links. Tell you what, the Glittering Lion with that foil looks real good. I know you can hardly tell, but next up we have Horned Cheetah. I'm going to guess it's going to be one of these two cards. We'll put it on this side, and then when we get whatever's supposed to be in the other one, we'll get it all figured out. Next up, Matinda Lion, so the M's. MT. MI. So MT. We got Nazan, revered Bladesmith. It's going to go right here. And then Pride of the Clouds and Prowling Serpentord. It's the cat snake. So P, PRs, and then PRI and PRO. So PRO, PRO, PRO. PRIs. Look at that. A whole sheet. Sheet. Just one missing. It is definitely getting closer. Let me look and I'll tell you exactly where we're at as far as what I've ordered. So Spider-Man, you wouldn't think there's a lot of cat cards in Spider-Man, but there's 3. And since we haven't bought Spider-Man, that is on our list is to, at minimum, pick up those 3 cards. They're all commons, so certainly not going to buy a box for those, but I don't want to buy those if I'm going to buy a box. So it just kind of depends on what we plan on doing. So we have 3 cards from Spider-Man, and then I've got 17 cards on the list that's not ordered. I've got other cards on ordered and coming, but 17 cards, $34.11 worth of cards. It's not too crazy. There's a bunch of them that are, there's let's see, what, maybe 10. Well, no, less than that, actually. There's 8 that are under $1. And with those, I've been kind of just chipping away at them. When I do orders, I check. and we pick them up here and there. In fact, tonight I ordered, I think, three more cards, just attaching them to the card I needed for the ooze deck. So we keep chipping away at those small ones, and then there's a couple $6 cards and stuff like that left. That's really where most of the cost is. So she's almost done with this. I don't think it'll ever be done. Especially, Spider-Man's got cat cards. Every set's gonna have cat cards. Anyhow, I'm gonna switch binders. I'll be right back. All right. So this, at least currently, is our binder with all of our miscellaneous stuff. Got all of our Edge of Eternities and whatnot. And then at the beginning, sorry, I didn't mean to run into you there. At the beginning, it's got all the special guests. The special guests just get me down. To be honest, the Edge of Eternities is not really... So the special guests and the Edge of Eternities are kind of in the same boat as far as I need like $500 for the cards to kind of complete each one of them. And, I don't know if I'm willing to spend the money right now. I'm just kind of, buying them when I feel like it. I'm not going to force myself to do anything. And I still have 3 cards to finish that Strixhaven bonus sheet too, which I probably should do before the next Strixhaven comes out. But I don't know. We'll see. They've gone up in price too. So it started off with I need 3 cards. One of them was like $10, one was $20, and one was $100. And now one of them is that minimum $140. And the other 2 are at least $30 or $40, and they don't seem to be going down in price at all. I thought maybe we'd see them go up and down a little bit, but they're just continuing to go up. So that's why I haven't been in any big rush to get them. $30, even for if I'm just going for the cheaper ones, the $30 cards. For one, if I'm not willing to spend $130 or $140 for the more expensive one, then none of it matters. There's no point in me buying the other 2 cards. But even with those being $30 or $40, I can buy a whole stack of these cards. The other cards that I'm looking for right now, I can make. That's everything I need to complete a deck. So anyhow, so we'll put these here. We got a few of them. We got Shambling Vent, we got Mirror Pool, and Grove of the Born Willows. And so not only did I order 2 of these, but apparently, you can't see it, apparently I had it all along. I don't know. I spend so much time trying to stay organized. I don't know how I managed to still end up with crap that I didn't need to order, especially when these are like $4 cards, Alright, anyhow. Mirror Pool. Hopefully, maybe. Shambling Vent, Mirror Pool. I could go off the numbers. It'd probably be easier. But, Shambling Vent. Did I already have Mirror Pool? You probably already saw it, right? Did I? Is another one I had to double because I was only looking at these little printed cards. All right. I'm going to be disappointed in myself again, aren't I? Nope, it's right here. Thank goodness. All right. Mirror Pool, that's down. So, like I said, slowly chipping away at these things. $500 from the cards. It's just, who knows if I ever even completed it. Even if I don't, I love the artwork on these things, so not too upset there. All right. So this is the Edge of Eternities cards. The Star Winder, I didn't really have a place for it. I think I plan on just slipping it in right here, right? I'm not even sure. This is the Edge of Eternities card. And this is another Edge of Eternities as far as the showcases go. Then we have 2 Dracula cards. Where were those? I did see those. There we go. Dracula cards. I've got 337 and 335. So 335, 337. What on earth am I missing here? As I'm pretty sure that I thought I was done with this. Let me look at my order history here. I thought I had all these ordered. So let's see. Order history. All right, I'm back. Mystery solved. It took me a while I looked and I was like, I don't know why I didn't order this. I didn't have anything left on my list to buy. So then I went back and looked and I was like, well, my wife didn't have it, so it wasn't one of those situations. Well, sure enough, it was a card that I had already. It was just, I never put it in here. So we got Lucy Westerina. Get her all sleeved up. She's already scanned, so sleeved up. And we get to complete not only this page, but we get to complete the set. So I got all the Dracula cards. Took me a little while, but we got them. Yeah, we're good to go there. So I don't have anything else for you guys right now. I feel like I've got another stack of cards hiding someplace, but I don't see them. So we'll just have to wait until next time. I'm trying to think what we got going. So we still haven't opened our last box of Phyrexia. All will be one. My wife's got a box that I bought her, and there's a couple secret layers. So we've got the secret layer lands, the flower power lands. We have those on order. I tried to order a second set under her account. I was at work. It was on my phone, and I didn't get us in line at the same time since I was on my phone. I should have, but I missed out on that. So I got one set at least, which I really like. I like those lands a lot. And I picked up the Spider-Man stuff. I didn't get all of it. I didn't really like the breaking news stuff. To be honest, I think the breaking news stuff, if I wanted to get it, it might be better to pick those up with individual cards from people who buy the big bundle and they're trying to sell those off. But if you've been around for a while, you may have seen that I have a black and white deck, which is all black. It's the colors is black and white, and then it's also all black and white artwork. And I had to get the Venom Unleashed with the inked cards in black and white, and also the new layers that announced. I saw a black and white set in there too. I don't think any of those will fit the deck, but the Venom Unleashed one, it's all black cards, and most of them will go perfectly in the deck. So I get to, not only do I get a cool layer, but I get to do some upgrades to a deck that I like. So, and that I don't get to change very often. I ordered that. I got the color version of that. I got the raised foil symbiote lands because they look a lot like the oil slick lands, and I love those. Those weren't cheap. At those prices, you're still paying like $5 a land, so it was not cheap. But I did pick those up, and then we got which one was it? The Villainous Plots Secret Lair. That's the one with like the Go for the Throat, Deadly Dispute, Soul Ring, all that kind of stuff. It's got that Deadly Dispute with I don't know who it is, the girl in like the black tight outfit. I was a little surprised to see. I guess it's not the first time a Magic card has gone, pushing the limits as far as what they're showing as far as that stuff goes. But I did like the Soul Ring and the Command Tower, and Go for the Throat was awesome. So I picked that up as well. So we did get a stack of secret layers that'll be coming. You'll see those soon, and then also the lands. And yeah, I've got more stuff on order. So it probably won't be too long till you see me again. Till next time, though. Now that I've talked your ear off, this is Binder Minder. As always, thanks for watching. I saw some more comments, by the way. New people, I appreciate it. To put us in your binder, if you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe. Ring the bell to be notified. You can also catch us on our social media, which is down in the description below. I'd appreciate it. Have a great day. We'll see you soon. Bye.